Hannah Burke is still Speaker of the House of Representatives, also the re-elected member of Chisholm. Are you still Speaker?
Yes, until the Speaker is elected tomorrow, which is one of the first acts of the new Parliament tomorrow morning. So until such time, the House has to have somebody who's in charge of the House and the Parliament. So I've actually been doing quite a lot of the preparation stuff for the actual opening. Well, not me, it's the staff. I just tick off everything, to be quite honest. Various things about, the opening Welcome to Country ceremony tomorrow, which Indigenous groups to get. So there's quite a lot of technical administration stuff. So been doing that, the new members seminar. There's still requirements about the building. I sign up if someone wants to use the protest area out the front. There's a designated protest area. Who gets first dibs on protesting that day. So all that stuff goes on. And so until tonight, I'm Speaker. So one of my sad duties today is speaking to all my staff who are going to lose their job tomorrow.
How many staff?
As Speaker, I had 5 staff. So 5 staff will be made redundant at the end of the day. So that's one of the nasty parts of it. But, that's politics, that's life. It's hard because I've still got my job. 4 of my staff have got their job, but 5 are no longer employed.
Why wouldn't they just be employed by the new Speaker? I mean, it's not a political role.
2 of them are. 2 of them very much are. They're my staff, and they're, one of them's been with me for 10 years. 3 of them aren't. They're public servants. So they can probably go back into the department. But no, it's up to Ms Bishop, who I'm assuming will be the Speaker tomorrow, but that's not for me to determine. That's actually got to go through their party room today as well. So that's not finalised. And it's an election, the actual Parliament elects a Speaker.
Well, let's assume Bronwyn Bishop is the new Speaker. How will she go?
It'll be interesting to see.
Well, you spent a bit of time bumping heads with her, didn't you, in the previous Parliament?
Yeah, I think she'll have it easier. She won't have to put up with herself. So she won't have to put up with the book and the yellow sticky bits and the points of orders. But obviously Bronwyn knows the rules. She's demonstrated that. So and she's been there a long time. And one of the things about being Speaker is just, if you actually read a lot of people who write about these things, and I'm sure many people out there haven't, but it's a job of osmosis. You've watched it, you've observed it, you've absorbed it. So I wish her well in the role.
Will you offer her advice?
I've been speaking to Bronwyn quite a bit previously. There was a delegation I should have attended in Geneva, a thing called the IPU, International Parliamentary Union. I thought it was ridiculous me going, so I actually delegated Bronwyn. She went as me to Geneva. I've certainly been giving her a load of advice, her staff. I've made my staff, who are the sort of Canberra-based ones, available. So I just think it's inappropriate not to give a handover. And when I walked in, nobody told me a thing, which is quite amazing given the circumstances. So I just don't think that's appropriate. And there's a lot of, as I say, it's process. It's about the running and the administration of the building. That goes on. That's in the interest of Parliament. It's not political. And I just think it's appropriate to offer as much information as I can, and will continue to do so if requested.
Any advice on how to control the Parliament?
Oh, no, that's up to the individual Speaker and their own style, and I think Bronwyn's probably got a handle on how she wants to do that. So I don't think she'd need any advice from anybody.
You were quite critical of the way the Parliament behaved at times during your period there. Do you think it'll change now that there's a change of government?
I think it will, but it's not the change of government. It's the fact that it's not the hung Parliament, so that every day there's not the hope that you can actually bring down the government. You won't have the suspension of standing orders. You won't have all that ruckus. It'll go back to the rhythm it was in a majority government. So I don't think it's anything to do with the new government. Contrary to what Mr Abbott's saying, I don't think it's about the tenor of the Prime Minister or the government. It's about the tenor of the opposition and the tone the opposition takes. So I think that will determine it, because the opposition now is not thinking, we can form government. We can bring down the government by a vote.
He has said he expects more respect in this Parliament. Do you think that'll flow?
Well, again, seeing as I'm still Speaker for another 24 hours, perhaps I shouldn't say, but, the Speaker and the government of the day aren't going to have to put up with the opposition I did. They're not going to have to put up with the antics of people who, said, we're being provoked. Well, last time I checked, provocation wasn't a justification under any system of jurisprudence or the Parliament. So a lot of it was there. It was the intensity, the rancour of it, the sort of the notion that, they'd been robbed of an election by the the independents determining to go one way or the other. So I think a lot of that goes. But, you know, Parliament should be a feisty beast, just not a disrespectful one.
Where will you be sitting?
Probably in the boondocks somewhere, I dare say. I haven't seen the plan yet. Somewhere way up the back, never to be seen again.
What would you be doing?
I don't know yet.
Representing your electorate,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. Look, I mean, that goes on without question. I mean, I'm, you know, continuing to do that. We've had a big issue in my neck of the woods with the sale of nursing homes by Monash Council, so we've been pretty actively involved with the community about those things. I know my officers have been having calls from individuals seeking assistance with relatives in the Philippines at the moment and where to go and what to do. So that goes on. It's AGM season, so I'm off to a couple of lovely AGMs to visit some great community groups. You've tragically probably only seen once a year at their AGM. So that goes on. But in a parliamentary sense, I really don't know. I'll wait and see. I'm just got to be honest, I've been actually quite busy just doing the handover of the Speaker's role and just finalising all the things we needed to do.
Did you organise the tour for Clive Palmer then he didn't turn up?
That was organised by the Sergeant's Office because the 2-day seminar we had for the new members, he hadn't been declared, so we couldn't invite him, would have been inappropriate. So, yeah, so there was, as people saw, the 2 days we give new members, it's pretty intense. And just the building, you can get lost in that building pretty easily.
Oh, I have.
So just to know where you are and what to do. Tomorrow is a very ceremonial day. We've actually got a DVD to walk you through so you don't go left when you're going right and the entire world is watching you. So it's actually a really important thing to get your head round, where the library is, who the Parliamentary Budget Office is,
But he didn't
what your
turn up.
entitlements.
He sent a staff member.
Well, that's just ridiculous. He's the Member of Parliament and the staff member, they need to be informed too. And there's quite a lot of seminars that are run during the year for staff to get their heads around that. But I just think he needs to know, tomorrow if he turns up and he doesn't know where he's meant to stand at the table, he's going to be the one who feels silly about it.
It's not a good sign, though.
That's up to Mr. Palmer. He's an individual Member of Parliament. But I think you've got to respect the institution. I'm not 100% convinced he understands the institution and has the respect for the Parliament. Leave aside politics, but our Parliament and the institution it is.
Does the Parliament discriminate against women?
I don't think so.
Does Julia Gillard saying the gender evolution hasn't changed attitudes to women?
I'm not sure if it's the Parliament or the public. Certainly, I had a baby I had two babies while being a Member of Parliament, and the Parliament accommodated. I'm not sure we've come a long way in the public. If you read some of the comments that went on when she was Prime Minister, some of the stuff that went out there on the internet was vile.
What?
It was vile. And it was misogynist. Let's call a spade a spade. It was because she was a girl. And so I'm not sure we've progressed in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was leaked in The Australian recently that she was preparing a strategy to promote her gender as, I'm getting a rough time because I'm female. Or her office was. Now,
look, I don't think you can, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. When she made the speech, that apocryphal speech, it sort of hit a chord because a whole lot of women went, we don't talk about it because then we'll be seen as we're not tough enough and we can't be here. But it goes on. I mean, you only need to look at what's gone on with that poor girl in the army recently, and the Skype scandal and how she was treated by the institution. As leave aside gender. This was an individual who was shown no respect, but it was her gender that they tried to shut down. Let's not talk about it. I think we've got to talk about it. Women now in Australia leave school, graduate from university more than men, get higher degrees. They're still earning less. We still haven't progressed. We've made lots of steps, but there's still lots of boundaries out there.
So even having a female Governor-General and a female Prime Minister, and female premiers are common. It's the wrong word. Are not unusual.
There's been several of them, yes.
And that hasn't achieved anything, or hasn't achieved enough.
We need to keep going. I mean, women make up 51% of the Australian population. Are they represented across the board? Are they in senior management? Are they on boards? One of the things I like to start is people go and look at the AFL boards. How many women are on AFL boards? There's one out there that has got none. We want to...
Several on the AFL Commission.
There's several on the AFL Commission. There's several and they're doing well. And I don't mean to single it out, but it's just one you can look at. The AFL want to encourage more women and families to participate, go along. Well, you want to engender people to be involved. You involve everybody. And I'm not sure we as society have still got there.
You looking forward to being political again?
Oh,
Give us a little practice. Give Tony Abbott a whack.
oh no, I'm still Speaker for a day. I'm going to be kind. And
We ring you tomorrow and you give him a whack.
look, well, I'm not going to give him a whack, but I might give Scott Morrison a whack and say that you can't keep the public, in a bubble. You can't have been out there literally every half hour in opposition talking to the media and now say to the media, and I'm not being political, I think this is treating the media with complete disrespect, once a week. And so we're getting our information via Indonesia. That's just going to create little bubbles, little misinformation, more miscommunication, more worry, more paranoia. I think that's wrong. I think that's disrespectful. If it's meant to be a parliament, it's meant to be more respectful, then show it across the board.
I look forward to hearing a lot more from you. I'd like to speak to you occasionally if we can about when you can be more political. But they're not using you enough, are they?
Oh, well.
I mean, look at what you've been Speaker, you've got this experience, and you're in the boondocks.
That's life.
Or is it the Labor Party? Is that a gender issue, or they just don't like you?
I'm beginning to think they don't like me, but anyway, hey, I won the seat. So the people of Chisholm likes me. That's what counts.
Well, that's true, but you do feel a little underused?
A little, yeah, but we'll wait and see. Parliament starts next week. Starts tomorrow. Sorry, next week. I'm in holiday mode. I'll be honest. I've been in Byron Bay for a week. It was beautiful. It's a bit of a shock coming back to Melbourne. I'll wait and see. I've got things I contribute. There's ideas. There's issues I want to pursue. You can do them on your own as a backbencher anyway.
Thank you so much for coming in, and it'll be a bit sad, won't it, tomorrow?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not delusional. It'll be quite confronting being back in Parliament tomorrow. Being in the opposition benches will be confronting, but the first question time on Wednesday, I think I'm going to find a bit surreal.
You'll be telling people to sit down, won't you, from the boondocks?
No, I'll probably be yelling. I'll get thrown out. No, I'm going to be very well behaved as the next Speaker.
Thank you so much, and well done on bringing some sense into it for the time you were there, and good luck in the future.
Thank you very much.
Anna Burke, the outgoing Speaker of the House of Representatives.